Previously on Star Trek Resurgence. We were put in the role of acting captain while Captain Solano was off on the starbase doing some captain-y stuff, schmoozing with the admirals, whatever he was doing. This is my ship now. And we had to make some tough calls because a giant energy surge from this ionic storm, which is off the charts. We've never seen anything like it. So this big energy surge slammed right into us, and we had to make it through that. And in doing so, everybody seems to be okay, except for Ed Solar. Ed Solar got this Lichtenberg figure kind of scar on her cheek, and they seem like they're gonna be in med bay and maybe all right, but we don't really know so far. The captain was a bit distressed by the ordeal. Some of the crew members did not love that I followed the captain's orders. Some of them were okay with it, but most of the crew appreciated that they could tell that I at least cared that we had some crew out on the hull of the ship and was concerned for their safety.
We're going on a mission of diplomacy.
That's where we're at right now. New chapter. All I ask is a tall ship. Hey, don't we all? Sometimes we don't get to choose though, you know? It's the cards we've been dealt. Oh. Should move back to controller. Oh, Jara. Hey, what's up? What's up, girl? Excuse me?
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got a full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Hey, chill out.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Yeah. So we need to go to pick up a
Captain on the bridge.
We're gonna go to the Hatari system, but first we have to rendezvous with our
everyone. You all know
ambassador or whatever.
Not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Okay.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
Handar, right? The helmsman. I remember that kind of. Just imagine there are thrusters on the front of the ship going pss, pss, pss. Bye, Starbase.
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Warp 8. We're really burning.
You know what? You take this.
Okay, I get to decide my go ahead signal. Do it. Make way.
Helm. Make way.
I don't want to totally bite on Picard's engage. I love that. That's so fun. Make way.
Make way.
It's a sailing term.
I know that.
Sit down. Oh.
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look fine.
Hey. I'm good, just because I'm cobloid. Uh-oh.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
You got it. Hey, where the hell is our transport chief? Yo, you look rough.
Help me get her inside.
Yeesh. Get her blood sugar up. Give her a candy bar. Please. Damn, y'all got me cuffed.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on her, but
That's a lot.
she'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your duridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer.
Hi, Duval.
Be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
Rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite
Sure.
the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
I try not to think about it. I kind of just want to go with it's who I am. You know?
I know what it means. And I know the responsibility that comes with it. But I can't be anything more than who I am. And if someone has a problem with that, or expects something else, then that's their problem, not mine.
That's exactly right. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment.
Great,
Just do the
thanks.
science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree
Oh,
with his
dish.
definition of acceptable risks.
Let's go.
Not when the lives of your
Give me the
crew are
dirt.
at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns
True.
me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. But the more the time
I
passes
won't
and
let
further
that
out of reach it
happen.
gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take. People become blinded by their own ambition. I've seen it happen before.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here.
Hell yeah. I've got an ally.
Now more than ever. I have to admit, I was concerned when I heard what happened on the bridge. You just followed Solano's orders despite having better options in front of you.
They weren't necessarily better.
I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO.
Dr. Duval was impressed by Jaro's sense of responsibility to the crew, but would rather see her thinking independently than following Captain Solano's every order. Okay, I talked about this last time, but maybe I am better to emphasize now that, and Irma will back me up on this, Irma knows the real deal. While Commander Westbrook did give me the option to reverse the polarity of the hull or some such solution, it put our crew members at risk by jettisoning them out into space.
Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
While I noted that their uniforms did not seem to have any sort of thruster capability on them. Do they have little thrusters on their suit? I hope so. I wouldn't fully rely on those mag boots. Makes me nervous. So they would be free floating out in space with no control of their own, out in the middle of the most dangerous ion storm ever recorded. Meanwhile, there is the possibility that it may not have successfully blown the bolts. I'm sure it probably would have, but it might not have, which would have put all of the people on the starbase at risk and people in that section of the ship at risk. I did the right thing, Duval. Just because it is an order that came from Captain Solano does not mean that it is wrong. I need people to get that. right? I think this is another case of a crew member whose trust has eroded, and because their trust has eroded, they are seeing all decisions made by Captain Solano through a certain lens, a certain perspective. They no longer trust that it is coming from a place of genuine care and concern for fellow crewmates. And from the sound of it, it sounds like Captain Solano would have preferred that all this accident nonsense had not happened, but certain people, the previous XO, the previous first officer, did not agree with that and pushed forward anyway.
I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me.
Although I do get kind of weird vibes from Captain Solano where he talks about how this would have been like a big milestone in his career and would have really made a name for himself and all that stuff. So I think there's some of that there for sure. But I also don't think everything that happened in the accident was entirely under his control. We'll find out. I'm a little concerned that Commander Ermot is going to end up playing a larger role in it than I suspect. And I'm only concerned with that because he's the first person they introduced us to. And who better to play the villain than our first ally? And also, Ermot is like a very sensible person so far. So I'm keeping an eye on him.
Fortunately, your cell structure is almost completely stabilized. And I'll
That's good.
us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Got it.
Understood.
And my work here is done.
Hey, thanks. You seem like a nice lady. Oh, I'm going to get an earful from
Sorry.
Westbrook. I was just about to say.
Working outside of sickbay. I didn't want to intrude, so it felt more appropriate to wait out here.
Yeah.
We're all worried about you.
Doctor-patient confidentiality.
say
I appreciate
I was.
that.
I wasn't sure what was happening at first, but then I realized it was your condition.
I'll say I'm totally fine. I'm not trying to make him... I kind of want to not say anything, but I'll say I'm totally fine. I do think he genuinely showed up out of concern.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
Well, being a jerk sometimes is part of who I am. So, I'm sorry for that.
I understand.
You trusted my intuition earlier, with the deflector pulse. I felt I should thank you for that.
I think I'm going to have to read this context more often than I was before, because before I was kind of waiting for a while. You know, you can't see a history of decisions and how that influences people. So if I waited for another decision that affected Commander Westbrook, then I would not be able to see this context. Commander Westbrook felt ashamed of his behavior and was impressed by Jaro's strength when he saw her outside of sickbay. I love that. Yeah, I think Westbrook, early on, they really kind of paint him as somebody who is confrontational and a bit overly aggressive. And I think that stems from a place of hurt and pain from him losing somebody he clearly respected a lot in the previous first officer. And as such, I am fulfilling the role of interloper, and he needs time to acclimate to that. I get where that is coming from.
Thank you for coming. Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
Yeah, that was very considerate. What?
Complete the diagnostic sequence, and this shuttle will be cleared for service.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Storm
Trovac.
in the Hotari region will interfere with our transporters, so we need all available shuttlecraft in working order.
Oh, I have control. Also, a Trovac, a lot like Tuvok. Tuvok. In name, at least.
Excuse me, Commander Trovok.
Petty Officer Maris, I will lead
Maris.
you to your work.
What's up, girl? How you doing?
I stopped by sickbay and saw Nilly.
Yeah, how's she?
I figured you'd want to know.
I'm not going to take blame for that. I did the right thing.
Did the doc get her fixed up?
She's stable. There's something about the storm's radiation that's making it hard to heal the energy burns.
Sick, she'll get a great scar.
Doesn't sound good.
She's toughing it out. Dr. Duval said she'll be back on duty soon, though.
Great.
Come on. I have to run the final diagnostic.
Yeah, come watch me push some buttons.
I can't stay long. I've got a long to-do list before we get to Hotari, and things are piling on faster than I can check them off. We're making all our last-minute checks in security, too.
We'll be ready.
Tactical and security are short-staffed.
Well, nothing's ever 100%, but we'll be good to go.
He's got a real
And if you
go-getter
wait until
attitude.
you are ready, it's probably too late. Which is why I didn't want to wait for just the right time.
Oh?
I had a chance to think about this while I was away. Then you and Nilly almost got killed out on the hull. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you,
Okay.
instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse.
Now, this is just a guess, but you like me. Is that what this is?
Ah.
How'd you know? Must have been pretty obvious. Which is funny because kind of came out of nowhere for me at first.
I'll do X. Yeah. Prod this along.
Well, you know, I was hoping.
I guess that makes this a little easier to say. We've been really good friends for a long time. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
I will say, this feels a billion times more natural than whatever the hell they were trying to do on Star Trek Elite Forces 2.
You sound jealous.
You sound afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
What is this conversation?
Look,
Of us?
I realize we haven't had a
What?
lot of time to reconnect since I've
What?
been on the Enterprise.
But I never saw you dead.
That's so hard to take? Me appearing dead?
You being alive.
Oh.
What is this conversation? At no point did I ever feel like there was a relationship angle between these two. They really try to like shoehorn in a relationship angle. This is the vibe. I appreciate it. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Carter?
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way.
Carter?
There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If
Hey,
it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Yeah, sure.
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that.
Hey, you snooze, you lose, Ed Solar.
These are uncharted territories.
I'd call it a chemistry experiment.
No, we're getting a little sciencey.
You know, with us.
I'm glad you said something. Ed Solar will find out.
I'm just really glad that you said something.
I've seen how you operate. I couldn't wait for you to make the first move.
Cute. Okay, Carter, over here. Miranda was thrilled to learn Carter's feelings for her trend toward the romantic, and she looks forward to seeing where this relationship might go. Ah.
I'm glad too.
So whatever happens next is great with me.
Level 1 diagnostic complete.
I have to get back to that to-do list. They're
Sure.
probably looking for me.
I'll see you around, eh?
Can't blame him.
Ah. Smooth.
I'll be seeing you.
I would imagine so. Hey, way to go. You crazy kids.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ionic interference
Oh.
surging, Captain.
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
By the way, this is too densely populated for an asteroid belt. But
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
it makes sense for the narrative. Whoa!
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field.
Where's your dampeners? Now that's 0G.
Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
We won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Oh, so we do have transporters, huh? Okay. It's convenient to remember now.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
Come on, Diaz.
I'm on it. What am I doing?
First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Onto the shuttle. Okay. Stabilize. Got it. Easy. No study. I know a thing or two about tractor
pulling in
beams.
debris. I'm on it.
Am I? Oh, right stick. Okay, okay. Uh-huh. Took me a second to realize what I was doing. But once I did it like a pro. Oh, that's a big one. I can tell by the sound.
Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
And push the shuttle back.
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it.
Oh, we're just gonna push into it, huh? Let's engage. Make it so. Oh. We need to see a... Where it... Okay.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17.
That was
200
interesting.
meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Bonk.
Got it.
Whoa. Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Got that right, Carter. And don't forget it. Wow, really just zipped along, huh? The applause is a little over the top. It's a living.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Please tell me it's one of the intelligent dinosaur people.
That creature napping in sickbay is a dinosaur.
From that one episode. Please tell me.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Oh, is this supposed to be Spock?
Ambassador Spock.
Okay. Fun. I'm your biggest fan. Live long and prosper.
The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Great. Me too. If it's good enough for Spock, it's good enough for me. Welcome aboard. Yeah, he doesn't want an apology.
Well, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer...
Carter?
Diaz. Sir.
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival.
Yeah.
Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
I had some help. Yeah. I had some help. Be humble. Spread around the praise.
Well, it wasn't all me. I got some help from upstairs.
A bombastic approach to clearing debris. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space.
Sorry to cut you off, Leonard Nimoy-esque sounding man. Ambassador Spock. That's fun. I wasn't sure if they were gonna have any characters that we knew in this. I guess it makes sense. Most of these kinds of games like to do that. Bold move to put Spock in there, but yeah, he's a legend. Ambassador Spock was impressed by Carter's skilled use of the tractor beam to rescue his shuttle, and he was left with the distinct impression Carter is a team player. Hey, needs of the many. Hey, Spock, needs of the many.
But it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
Truly.
There was an element that was most unusual.
Tell me about it.
Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all. Even though the diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies.
Mysterious.
What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
It's probably the storm. I'm not going to say I can't speculate. He's asked me for my opinion.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes. It would seem further investigation is called for.
Yeah, let's go, Carter.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
I'm your man, Spock.
Logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
I like to think of myself as an honorary Vulcan.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
It's a good day for Carter. Damn. Next time on Star Trek Resurgence.
I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Heavy.